Thanks. One woman is dead after she was hit by a car this morning. It happened on East Riverside in South Austin just before 2:30. Nick Spinetto was on the scene with the latest details. Nick?
Well, Dave, brand new at this half hour. It looks as though Austin police are beginning to wrap up their investigation. If you are just waking up this morning, let me catch you up to speed as to what exactly happened here just before 2:30 this morning. That's when police say a young woman believed to be in her early 20s was either walking along East Riverside Drive or crossing the street when she was struck and killed by a black Camaro. Now, at this time, police do not know how fast the car was going, but the impact did kill her on scene. 2 people were in the car. Police believe the driver may have been drunk.
The driver and passenger that were in the Camaro did remain on scene. Our DWI enforcement unit was called to the scene to perform an evaluation on the driver, and he did observe some signs of intoxication. An arrest could be pending in that area right now.
Of course, investigators do have to determine what exactly happened first. The driver of the car was not injured, but his passenger was. The person was taken to UMC Brackenridge with non-life-threatening injuries. The victim's identity isn't being released until her family is notified. Meantime, the westbound lanes of East Riverside Drive have reopened. The eastbound lanes, though, still remain closed in this area. They do hope to have them open again within the next 30 minutes or so. Stay with Good Day Austin, and we'll keep you updated. Dave, back to you.
All right, Nick. Thank you very much.
This morning, there are reports several people are still missing after the catastrophic flooding in Wimberley. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed after nearly 10 inches of rain fell Saturday night. And this morning, the search continues, as do the repairs. Fox 76 Spinetto is live in Wimberley with this story. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning to you, Amanda, and let me paint the scene for you right now because it is just a remarkable contrast to what took place here this morning. There's a gentle breeze, the birds are chirping here in the town of Wimberley. Again, a stark contrast to the calamity that took place here just yesterday when behind me you can see a high water sign that blocks part of Francis Store Road. Beyond that is a bridge that no longer is there. It was completely washed away by the Blanco River over the weekend. Also, Fox News is reporting that 8 people are missing, among them a mother and her 2 children. This is a picture of that family right now. They are missing and being searched for, as well as several other people this morning. A lot of damage here in the town of Wimberley. Thousands of homes have been damaged. Several hundred are destroyed, no longer standing. We were walking around earlier this morning trying to just survey the damage ourselves. Granted, it was dark, but we could see a lot of damage with some flashlights. You could see some overturned cars, a lot of debris from where houses used to be, foundations. And I think one of the strongest images that I saw this morning, I actually posted it to Twitter, was just a chair and next to it was an American flag. Given it being Memorial Day, I just thought that was a very profound picture and just such a strong image of what took place here over the weekend. That's all that's left of that person's home was a chair and an American flag. Here's some sound from someone who survived the storm over the weekend.
Hanging out the window, watching the water come up the roof, and the rescue guy that was here hollered at me, "We have to go leave to try to find a boat, but we'll be back." And then when he left and I was sitting there in the dark, I began to wonder, am I going to make it?
A lot of harrowing stories from over the weekend. Thousands of people have been displaced. Tanya will talk about that in just a few minutes. But here in Wimberley, Governor Greg Abbott will tour this area this afternoon, one of the hardest hit areas from the storm over the weekend.
With the latest. Morning, Nick.
Good morning to you, Dave. And if you are just waking up, it has been a very tense, terrifying morning for people living here in East Travis County, where there's been some major flooding. Behind me, you can see a roadblock sign blocking the road. Over to my right, you can get a better perspective, a little bit of how bad this flooding actually is. Decker Creek flooded around midnight. That's when first responders started getting 911 calls for help. People were stranded in their homes and cars when water rushed around them. Austin Travis County EMS used a helicopter and a boat to rescue nearly a dozen people. Fortunately, the good news this morning, there are no injuries. Still, though, I spoke with one resident who can't get home because the area is still flooded. She said she is worried about her family.
They're okay. There's no flooding in our house, but the water on the road, up to the road, is red. And she said that they went outside and the water was like knee deep at the street side.
Back out here to live pictures. The water is starting to recede. However, as you can see, it's still pretty flooded out here. That means FM 969 near Dunlap Road is going to be closed for the next few hours. They expect it to be closed at least until 8 o'clock this morning, of course. So if you're going to be out in this area, they're asking you to avoid this area, I should say. So stay with Good Day Austin as we continue to keep you updated throughout the morning. Meantime, Dave, back to you.
Nick?
Hey, good morning to you both. And what a morning it's been out here along FM 969 in East Travis County. We are near Decker Creek, and this area flooded significantly overnight. In fact, we're at a gas station right now. This is where several people had to be rescued. If we pin down a little bit, you can see this gas station parking lot. The water is completely receded now, though, but the gas station parking lot is just caked in mud. One person had to be airlifted out of here because the floodwaters were at least 5 feet high. Now, you think about that. That comes up to about here. I mean, I'm 5'11", so that's about my collarbone area. And I want to point to this dumpster you see right there. That dumpster used to be up against the gas station wall. It was physically lifted up and moved. That's to give you an idea about the strength of the current out here. Now, overnight, again, this started around midnight. That's when this floodwater started here at Decker Creek. The creek just started to swell, flooded around homes, this gas station. According to Austin Travis County EMS, they had to rescue up to about a dozen people. Again, some people were taken out by helicopter. A boat at one point actually had to come rescue some people. Now, because this area is surrounded by a lot of low water crossings, which all closed because of the floodwater, people couldn't get home. I spoke to one woman who was trapped outside the flood zone, if you will, for several hours. She couldn't get in until this morning. But this is what she said earlier to me today around 4 o'clock this morning when she was waiting to get inside to see if her home was okay.
What Search and Rescue said was it's like we're an island, just all surrounded by water. Because we tried every which way to get home. We went through Manor, we went through Bastrop, and we went through Weberville, and it's blocked everywhere to get in.
Anyway, again, we're along FM 969 here in East Travis County, and the road is back open in both directions. So that is good news. It was closed for about 8 hours in both directions while they waited for the water to recede. It has since receded, so that's good news. There is some damage out here, but nothing significant. And the good news overall, bottom line, there were no injuries throughout this whole ordeal. So that's the latest out here in East Travis County. Well, Dave, we are here at First Baptist Church in Wimberley. Over the past few days, this place has been turned into a command center as the search for the 11 people still missing does continue. Over the past few days, several hundred people have been going door to door throughout Hays County, asking people to check the debris on their property, hoping to find some type of clues. Now, Texas Task Force 1, along with the Texas Military Services, are conducting the official search. We're told 8 of the 11 people missing were several families vacationing together when the home was swept away. State officials are calling the flood a historic tsunami of water, something like they have never seen before. Hays County Judge Burt Cobb warned everyone, with more rain expected on the way, the worst may not be behind us.
The rivers are already full, so any additional rain is going to top out and cause even greater damage and possible loss of life. We have no excuse for not knowing that.
Now, Fox 7 has put together a list of resources on ways you can help people, flooding victims. All you have to do is visit our website, myfoxaustin.com/shareourstrength. Dave, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you very much.
Overnight, Austin took a major hit from heavy wind and rain.
The storm blew in and it was pretty intense. A lot of wind.
Silver Springs Apartments near Tech Ridge Boulevard had the roof ripped apart by relentless wind.
It was just crazy because it was pounding on the windows. The wind actually blew the door open, had to push it back shut. We got everybody in the bathroom.
DeMonte Smith rescued his neighbors.
The water's coming through the roof and it's just leaking everywhere. It's totally flooded. I helped her out with the baby, get their dishes and all that stuff situated, help them get into our house so they could be safe.
Once safe, people were evacuated, dazed and scared. The American Red Cross is helping those now homeless by the damage which spreads across the metro area. This U-Haul and storage store near Breaker and I-35 also took a hit. Its metal roof ripped away, leaving behind a trail of twisted metal.
It's just crazy, all my stuff is in there. I had a 10x10 and I had a lot of stuff in there and I can't even see because I had boxes stacked up. I had drawers stacked up. I had a dresser, couch, everything. and all I see is my bag. Just looking at it, kind of heartbreaking a little bit.
Here in South Austin, the storm also hit pretty hard. You can see this large billboard was ripped up, crushing part of River City Market here on South Congress Avenue. I just spoke with the store owner who tells me there was one employee inside at the time stocking beer. Fortunately, he was not hurt. The owner didn't want to go on camera, but told me he's already working with his insurance company and expects to reopen within the next few weeks when repairs are done. Repairs needed to fix ripped apart buildings and lives too.
This is devastating. It really is. It really is devastating.
In Austin, Nick Spinetto, Fox 7 News Edge. Overnight, Austin took a major hit from heavy wind and rain.
The storm blew in and it was pretty intense. A lot of wind.
Silver Springs Apartments near Tech Ridge Boulevard had the roof ripped apart by relentless wind.
It was just crazy because it was pounding on the windows. The wind actually blew the door open, had to push it back shut. We got everybody in the bathroom.
DeMonte Smith rescued his neighbors.
The water's coming through the roof and it's just leaking everywhere. It's totally flooded. I helped her out with the baby, get their dishes and all that stuff situated, help them get into our house so they could be safe.
Once safe, people were evacuated, dazed and scared. The American Red Cross is helping those now homeless by the damage which spreads across the metro area. This U-Haul and storage store near Breaker and I-35 also took a hit. Its metal roof ripped away, leaving behind a trail of twisted metal.
It's just crazy, all my stuff is in there. I had a 10 by 10 and I had a lot of stuff in there and I can't even see because I had boxes stacked up. I had drawers stacked up. I had a dresser, couch, everything. And all I see is my bag. Just looking at it, kind of heartbreaking a little bit.
Here in South Austin, the storm also hit pretty hard. You can see this large billboard was ripped up, crushing part of River City Market here on South Congress Avenue. I just spoke with the store owner who tells me there was one employee inside at the time stocking beer. Fortunately, he was not hurt. The owner didn't want to go on camera, but told me he's already working with his insurance company and expects to reopen within the next few weeks when repairs are done. Repairs needed to fix ripped apart buildings and lives too.
This is devastating. It really is. It really is devastating.
In Austin, Nick Spinetto, Fox 7 News Edge.